And now, with all the news Covina can stand, it's Covina Newsstand with Margaret Wolf.
Oh, thank you, Rob. Good evening, Covina. It's good to be back. A lot of news tonight, so let's go ahead and get started. Last week, the city of Covina played host to special visitors with a specific purpose. Jeff Plummer was there, and he has a report on this for us now. Not yet. In a bit. We'll hold. Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll bring that back there for you. Once again, Covina, the lottery fever is running rampant all over the state of California, but especially here in Covina. You're going to be seeing a shot of the 7-Eleven store on Citrus and Covina Boulevard. Tonight's jackpot is worth $44 million, and it is the third largest pool in the state's history. The winning numbers chosen tonight are, and we'll put these up too, 16, 26, 27, 36, 43, 45, and the bonus number is 4. I guess we're not going to be seeing that shot of the 7-Eleven store, but that's okay. If no one wins tonight, the jackpot will be added to Wednesday's sales and produce a jackpot worth an estimated $60 million. So far, lottery sales have provided $804 million to California's school system, which is exactly what it is there for. And of course, the big event 1 week ago tonight in Covina was the 7th annual Miss Covina Scholarship Pageant. 10 contestants vied for the title, and lucky Kimberly Grafe was chosen to assume Miss Covina 1989 role. Kimberly won $1,250 in scholarship monies, and after she caught the judges' eye during 4 phases of competition, including a personal interview with the judges, swimwear and evening gown review, and her vocal rendition of Can't Help Lovin' Dat Man O' Mine from the musical Porgy and Bess. After the pageant, QC caught up with 2 instrumental people involved with making the pageant a successful reality. And I guess we're going to hold on that too. Moving on to weather. Okay. Tonight, the temperatures should round out to 42 to 48 degrees. Partly sunny tomorrow with temperatures in the high 60s to 70s, so not too bad. And moving on to local sports. Only one score to report tonight, and that is the outcome of the girls' softball game held this past week, which was between Covina Colts and the El Monte girls. The Covina shut out El Monte 4-0, so we did have a shutout this past week. Moving back to the Miss Covina story earlier, I did catch up with 2 people, Randy Gordon and Susie Santori, who helped make the pageant possible, and we have this now.
I'm glad it's over with. We had a great show, thanks to a lot of help by a lot of volunteers.
How are your feelings about the outcome?
Oh, I'm very happy. We've got another great queen. She's got big footsteps to follow, but I'm sure she will do just well.
How do you think tonight turned out?
I thought it went really well. I really did. I was real happy with it. It went real smoothly, much more smoothly than I thought it was going to after dress rehearsal last night. But it went really well, I really thought.
Were you surprised at the outcome with Kimberly being queen?
Not really. We had kind of guessed, you know, who was going to kind of be up there in the last 5, and you know, I don't think it was any surprise. Kimberly is a very, you know, polished girl. She's had a lot of experience on stage, being with Citrus singers. She's been around the world. She's very articulate, very sweet, and I mean, I don't think it was any big surprise. You know, it was. I was glad the way it turned out. I thought the competition between the top 5 was probably very, very stiff. I bet there wasn't a whole lot of points separating all of those top 5 girls.
Okay, those 5 girls were, of course, Kimberly Grafe, Miss Covina. Jocelyn Duran was the first runner-up. Melody Lloyd was second runner-up. She was also chosen amongst the 10 finalists as Miss Congeniality. Dawn Fletcher was third runner-up, and Gina Sanangelo was 4th runner-up. So congratulations to those girls, as well as Kimberly Grafe. And once again, you will have an opportunity to speak live to Kimberly because she's going to be on after the news segment here at QC. And stepping back a few more steps, if you're a right stuff aficionado, you'll be especially interested in this next segment. A special guest, Chuck Yeager, was in Covina this past week, and I do believe we are now ready for this report from Jeff Plummer.
Friday, February 24th, Covina art and nature lovers, along with a selected panel of dignitaries, gathered to view the unveiling of the 1989 Fish and Wildlife stamp at Seerey-Lester's Gallery in Covina. The program, currently in its third year, raised more than $1.1 million in each of its first 2 years and hopes to increase that this year. We spoke to commissioned artist John Seerey-Lester about this year's painting.
We were asked, or I was asked to do wood ducks, to paint wood ducks, and I did my first design, which was a little bit different to this. I had the hen, which is now in the foreground, in the background, with the two drakes. This is called the suitors, the painting. So the two drakes were giving the hen quite a hard time, and she was getting aggravated. And when I submitted it to them, they said, no, maybe this shouldn't be the design. So whilst I was away on a tour in Canada, I found out that I had to do another design. So working in a hotel bedroom and various places, I did this particular study. And this study was what I sent by fax down to Florida for them to approve. I said it was okay, providing it will come in colour eventually. And that was the final design selected. This study now is going to stay here in the gallery, at Seerey-Lester's Gallery, and it's going to be here for the whole period between now and June 15th. That's right, yeah. And anyone that's buying a print or ordering the stamp and print program has a chance to put the name into a box, and at the end of the period they're going to draw for this original study. This is going to be the print, which is going to be released together with 2 stamps, and there's an executive edition which has the gold medallion and a hand-coloured engraving at the bottom.
We spoke to the director of the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, Charles Collins, and asked him how the sale of the stamps benefits his organization.
Well, the foundation funds projects all around the country, in Canada and Mexico and Africa, that are involved in endangered species restoration, protection and restoration of wetlands, education programs for the general public, and research projects that help to resolve very, very difficult fish, wildlife, and plant conservation activities. And we have about 70 different projects underway right now.
Famed test pilot and avid outdoorsman General Chuck Yeager was on hand as the evening's guest speaker.
Yeah, I've been on the board of directors for the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation for about a little over a year now, Jeff, and we're involved very much in print programs to support wildlife conservation, and it's a very interesting program because we run in some very good artists and they paint very nice pictures, and it's worthwhile.
So you're here on a 6-state jaunt or press junket, or?
No, we don't. I don't look at it that way. We participate in the program in Seattle, L.A., Minneapolis, New York, and Washington, Dallas, Texas, and we just get together in the galleys and sort of show the people what they can do to support wildlife conservation.
You're very interested in that, in effect, that you're pretty close to nature as far as you spend most of your time there, don't you?
Well, I've been hunting ever since I was a kid in West Virginia, and obviously I think hunters are the greatest wildlife conservationists in the world because they're interested in it.
Right.
And yes, I've been involved in hunting and fishing and conservation practically all of my life.
So the money is well spent as far as what
is, and we look at many programs, not only here in the United States, but in Africa, Alaska, Canada. What can we do to preserve and increase wildlife so our kids can enjoy it? So.
Okay, thanks, Jeff, for that report there. Finally, tonight, my last story is this Tuesday, March 7th, there will be a partial eclipse of the sun, and that's going to occur at 9:50 a.m. this Tuesday. What that is the moon will move it shifts between the Earth and the sun, causing 36% of the sun to be eclipsed. The last time we witnessed such an eclipse was in March of 1984. The Griffith Observatory is a great place to view this. There's going to be several activities there and special instruments for viewing this. Remember, though, if you are at home, do not look directly at the sun. The sun is just too bright for our eyes. And that's going to do it for me tonight. I would like to thank my crew for helping me out on my first night back here. I just love them all.